Good Sunday morning and welcome into Weekend Recharge on this New Year's Eve. I'm LaRosa.
Hi everyone, I'm Mike Bettison for Ball Good Though this morning, and now forget about out with the old and in with the new. All right, as we wrap up 2017, it was headed into 2018. It's going to be out with the old and in with the cold.
I like what you did there.
Right?
I like it. Yeah, this morning, 133 million people under wind chill alerts. That's more than 1/3 of the entire U.S. population. I counted the states with advisories up, 38. The lower 48.
It is so frigid out there for you.
I love it. You've been creative and fun, and we feel you. And as we give you the Sunday snapshot, the last one of 2017, getting you ready to ride into 2018, it is all tied to the cold, just about everything. Because yes, with a little bit of moisture, it is cold enough that we're seeing some reports of freezing rain across the south. This is important. We'll time it out and talk about when that may exit. So if you have plans tonight, stay tuned. But yes, dangerous wind chills, basically from the Rocky Mountains to the East Coast and everywhere in between, save for the Southwest where we have above average temperatures. Everybody, Mike, is in the deep freeze, and it's going to be that way for some time. Frozen America really takes over, and you can see these are actual temperatures, right? So you have the thermometer at 15 below in Minneapolis, 1 degree above zero in Chicago right now, but there is that wind chill. It is dangerous. You're down to minutes if you are not properly protected, feeling the effects of frostbite. International Falls, it feels like 43 below as we go through the morning, and you can see 20 below in Minneapolis. It'll stay below freezing, at least it feels like temperature in Chicago all day through midnight, through tomorrow morning. So again, we can't emphasize enough, if you are going to be out and about for any of the wonderful festivities you've got planned, you have to take precautions. All right, tomorrow we welcome in 2018 like we finished 2017. 5 for the high in Chicago, 2 in Minneapolis, just 10 in Kansas City, but really tomorrow morning it is once again going to be bone chilling, below zero in so many spots. Minneapolis, your trend is impressive. You've been below freezing since the 20th. We'll continue that trend into the first week of 2018. We do bottom out tomorrow as far as high temperatures, I should say today, for high temperatures with below zero, and then we finally a big warm up into the upper teens as we get into next week. Chicago, same deal. Your average high this time of year is 32. We are nowhere near that, with temps hovering right about 10 degrees most of the week in the coming days. And we are running out of room where to put some of this snow that we continue to shovel. Positive is that we've got a lot more ice on the lakes now that it's been so cold, so maybe we'll see that lake effect machine shut down. But today it is another go, and that includes around Erie, but also northeastern Ohio and of course downwind of Lake Michigan. We have some of those advisories up. So not a ton out there right now, which is good, but you see that band setting up along and in the middle of Lake Michigan and curling some of that snow back into Grand Rapids. You've seen sort of that slow, steady drip of snow accumulate over the last few days. Snow showers around Cleveland, and it is blowing around. Watch that drive along 80 and 90 this afternoon and tonight for sure. Let's show you what's in store as we get closer to midnight. You see that Lake Michigan band kind of drift, so we'll keep an eye on that, but also off of Lake Erie and Huron, as well as Lake Superior, all in play as we go through the evening hours, overnight tonight, and yes, leftovers from 2017 for the first morning of 2018. So looking in, adding it all up by tomorrow evening, so between now and tomorrow evening, about 24 hours, we could see another 3 to 5 inches of snowfall along the east coast of Lake Michigan, and downwind of Erie and Ontario, perhaps 5 to 8 inches of more snow. Chris, we appreciate it, and the mitten one. This is basically the palm.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some of the cold air that we're going to see. Places like Chicago, how about your New Year's at the stroke of midnight? 3 degrees below zero the air temperature.
Yowzers, 21 below is what it's going to feel like for the entire evening pretty much. Dallas, you're not escaping it either. Into the 20s at midnight, and it's feeling like near 11. Will be remembered as a year filled with high impact weather disasters. The economic fallout will be felt well beyond 2018.
Indeed it will. Let's get a bit of a year in context with business weather analyst Paul Walsh. By the way, 10 degrees below zero tomorrow morning.
A question for you. Frozen peaches? Peaches ice cream? You like?
Yeah, yes? Peachy ice cream. Peachy I can do that. Sure.
We're going to have some frozen peaches. We're going to drop a frozen peach tonight in Atlanta because that cold is seeping into the south as well. It is going to feel like 17 ish around midnight when Atlanta drops the peach. So it is definitely taking hold here. We have wind chill advisories, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and then of course clear on up into the northern plains, the northeast. You get the idea. So here we are right now at 33 in Atlanta, 15 in Nashville. We're just at 52 in New Orleans, but you're looking at highs not getting out of the 30s for tomorrow. New Orleans. Today, again, highs only getting into the mid 30s for Atlanta. We're staying into the 20s in Nashville. Tomorrow, Charleston, 37 degrees for your high. And you can see New Orleans right there, 38 degrees. That would be a record cold high temperature. It feels like 33 out there right now. And incredibly dry air along with it being incredibly cold. Right now, Minneapolis, you're sitting at 15 below, 1 degree above zero in Chicago, just 4 on the thermometer in St. Louis. We are in the deep freeze, and it wouldn't take much of a wind to be a factor. So that's why we have numbers like this. It's incredible. 34 below is the current wind chill in Minneapolis. You've got Rapid City at 33 below. Through the morning, it is not going to be a whole lot better. Obviously, below zero wind chills throughout the day, which is why we have those advisories, those warnings up. It is life-threatening, and if it's too cold for you, it is absolutely too cold for your pets as well. Please remember them and keep an eye on the kiddos. They may want to get out there and be in the cold and have some fun, but it only takes a few minutes to get into trouble with the frostbite. Tomorrow, your high, Minneapolis, just 2, Chicago, just 5, and you guessed it, you factor in those morning temperatures, and you're starting off below zero in just about every spot in the Midwest and the Great Lakes. Minneapolis, your temp trend, where your average high this time of year, 24, that would be an incredible warm-up compared to where we're starting this week. Mike, Tuesday's our peak at 14.
I like what
information, and want to make a point, too, that it takes you, maybe not part of the vulnerable population, to keep an eye on those who may need it. So do your part as a neighbor times like these, for sure. And there are many who will be feeling it, for sure. 19, or I should say 13 right now in New York City. It is 4 in Pittsburgh, just 2 in Buffalo. And that is, of course, the air temperature. You factor in the wind, and it feels like 12 below in Boston. It feels like just 7 in Washington, D.C. And again, at those levels, you are not going to see, hours go by without being affected. We're talking minutes of possibly feeling the effects of frostbite. And as you can see through the day, just about everyone stays in that close to zero to well below zero wind chill factor through tonight, through midnight, and tomorrow morning as well. So this is so important if you're doing New York Times Square, if you're doing Penn's Landing in Philadelphia. That is something you need to keep an eye on. Even through Tuesday morning, we are deep entrenched in this cold. So again, today, those high temperatures in the single digits to low teens. By tomorrow, not much better. Everyone here below zero, I should say below freezing. You've got 26 as a high in Washington, D.C. Now, no surprise when you're seeing lows this low, records will be threatened, and that's the case in Boston, Buffalo, New York, and Portland, Maine, where our forecast lows are below zero, and you can see within a few degrees of setting those records for tomorrow morning, and more cold in the forecast, as we've been talking about, Mike, through the week.
No.
Hey, Weather Channel, we're the UCF cheerleaders. We're here in Atlanta, Georgia to cheer on our UCF Knights against the Auburn Tigers in the Peach Bowl. Here's your game day forecast. Go Knights!
I love it.
Go Knights.
All right,
Go
Peach
Tigers.
Bowl in Atlanta for New Year's Day. Oh boy, the Knights against the Tigers. This is going to be a good one.
These are 2 very good teams.
Yeah.
Number 12 versus number 7. Yes, it's in a stadium. Yes, they'll have the roof closed. But, if you're going to be getting to the game or tailgating, look at these numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, tomorrow at 12:30, we're talking temperatures in the upper 20s, low 30s.
Yeah, not something you think of when you click purchase tickets to the Peach Bowl in Atlanta.
Georgia, right?
Yeah. But there you go. All right, we head to Seattle now for some NFL. Cardinals against the Seahawks. Bright sunshine with a kickoff today at 1:25 local time.
Seahawks still have a chance of making the playoffs. They got to win to have a chance. But the Falcons, if they win, they're in. They take on the Panthers. This is a really good NFC South matchup here. This game is in Atlanta. It's at the Dome. Again, temperatures are cold for people to be tailgating.
All right, these are professionals here. The Bears and the Vikings outside. Right, wait, U.S. Bank Stadium. Oh, this is where?
They're inside
They're
now.
inside now.
They
Okay,
are now.
My
Last year
bad.
they were outside.
My bad. But tailgating.
They love to tailgate.
And they're awesome at it. They like the frozen beer. They put it next to the fire to keep it thawed.
They put the beer at the fireplace to keep it warm enough so it doesn't freeze.
I love it. But those wind chills, 20 to 30 below zero the entire day.
Bright sunshine. It's going to be a nice day there,
Yeah.
but so cold. All right, Bengals taking on the Ravens here. In the AFC, temperatures also here very, very cold. Wind chills that'll be down into the teens here. So if you're going to the game, lots of hot chocolate, dress in layers. Be prepared to sit there for 3 hours in that kind of cold.
All right, we've got the Stillers against the 0-15 Browns. I'm pulling for you. I'm right.
Well, at this point, you
big
might
and
as
go
well
home.
just go 0-16.
That's right.
Just go for it. Steelers, one of the best teams in the AFC. The weather, not so much fun. Only in the teens here at Heinz Field.